Evening, everyone. Evening, everybody. Yes, the
Evening.
countdown is done. I was just trying to go in. Normally, when we go live, I go onto X and find it on our profile and I retweet it. And I'm like, oh, where's it all gone? It doesn't seem to just instantly show it anymore. So, if anybody can retweet it and put the PAFC hashtag on for us, then please let us know. We've not got any comments showing. Let me try and fix that. There we go. So they've also Restream have also decided to play around with things. There we go. Let me just try. Oh, we don't want that. I don't want the demo version really. I just want the normal ones. No, that is a demo chat. Hang on, what are we doing here? Bear with us, folks, and especially if you're listening post.
Anyway, shall I start the ball rolling, Mike? So if you
no, it's all right. We'll sort it out in a minute. So rather than panic. Anyway, evening, everybody. It's good to have you back on, this Thursday evening. The weather's still absolutely wet outside. This rain doesn't seem to stop. But we've got a game on Saturday, of course, away to Blackpool, and we need to find our rhythm again. But joining me tonight is Gavin. Evening, Gavin. How you doing?
Hello, sir. Very well.
And yourself, Andy?
Yeah, very good, mate. Thank you. Had a really good day today, thankfully.
Good.
Sunshine.
Yeah, so I am just going to try and sort this out because these comments, there we go, medium, that's better.
There we go. That's better.
Yeah, technical issues, Heather, that's right. So, so what we got for you tonight? So we're going to obviously round up. There was no game midweek, of course, so we can get straight really into a couple of things tonight. One is we're going to review the squad where we stand now. Gavin and I have thrown a bit of a slide deck together of all the players in their relevant positions. We're going to talk that through. You know, now we've got players coming back from injury, which there is some good news from the presser today, but also some not so good news with Joe Rules being out now for the rest of the season, needing surgery on that hamstring. But yeah, we're going to go through everything, and then we're going to sort of show you the sort of suggested starting 11 based on stats, and then also what we think, the season running 11 is likely or should be from our point of view. And I'm sure you'll ridicule us for some selections, agree with us on others, and throw in your own. So Stephen Cooper saying, hi, Gavin, can't wait for your team. Well, if he sends it to me, Stephen, I'll be able to upload it.
It's in WhatsApp, mate.
Is it? Good. I'll have to load it later rather than mess things up. Anyway, Gavin,
how's... into live before I sent it, so apologies.
Yeah, that's all right. How's your week been overall, Gavin? Obviously, nice to have a Tuesday break from a game at times, just to give us a chance to breathe.
Yeah. I've filled it with work. Well, actually, no, that's a lie. So went to Cardiff on Sunday for the wife's birthday. We stayed in the Parkgate Hotel, which was nice. Had some nice dinner. We had a dinner at Gaucho on Monday night. Nice bottle of red, which Voodoo would have been proud of. An Argentinian Malbec, which cost more than I care to mention. So a couple of days in the hotel, an evening in the spa, of which the Rainbow Warrior rocked up with wet towels, thinking I was some kind of out-of-water whale in the plunge pool. I had to tell them I was not, and he was a paying guest, and they left me alone. And then meetings all day yesterday, meetings all day today. So it's been pretty crazy. But all in all good. But it's been nice to not have a Tuesday night game to worry about. I do agree.
Yeah, absolutely. And Andy, how's your week been?
Yeah, I've had a really good steady week, full of positive stuff going on with the website and marketing and stuff that I've been doing. So yeah, really good week so far.
Good. Yeah, it's been the past 2 weeks have been pretty hectic with some system changes and all sorts going on. So I have to say, I'm off next week for half term, and I am very much looking forward to it. So yes, and I will be back on Saturday as well for the watch along. I think Carl may be joining me, depends on what else goes on. But yeah, be able to bring that to you, which I always enjoy doing. So looking forward to that. But yeah, so look, what we'll do is we'll just touch upon the press conference, I think, before we get into the main presentation. But before I do that, actually, of course, let me read out some comments. Michael Horse. Michael Hawks
I've
is
just
in.
read Duke of Devon's and that's made me giggle. Sorry, Mike. I've just read Duke of Devon's and that's made me giggle.
I'll come to that. Michael Hawks says, evening all. Hope everyone is well. Stephen Kubner says, evening guys and Mike. Heather's in as well, who will join us later as well to give us the women's update. And that big game next Wednesday at Home Park against Exeter. And they've had to pit on, open more blocks to accommodate. We've also got Debbie Furfin. She said, good evening all. Hope everyone is well. Brian, all the way over from Boston, Massachusetts, says, evening everyone. Looking forward to tonight's podcast as well as an Argyle win on Saturday. Come on, you Greens. Andy is also keeping you occupied in the chat. VW Coco's in as well. Good evening, he says. Duke of Devon, evening all. Baz in the Cloud, evening all. Hope for a win on Saturday, especially with the return of a few of our key players. Spicy Wedges says, evening chaps. Hope all is well. Gutted about Joe Rules. Evening Grumpy as well, Debbie says. What else have we got? Larry as well from Plymouth, Massachusetts is in tonight as well. So he says, good evening, gents. We've got Duke of Devon, which is, I think, the one that made Gavin laugh just now. It's like my dad trying to figure out a phone. VW Coco also says, yeah, gutted about rules, but our midfield has now got to step up for the rest of the season and virtue final. What else we got in here? Ben Collins is in as well. Evening, he says. Luke Hodge and Ads Taylor is back as well. Evening all. Hope for a return and a win on Saturday. So let's just crack on to the press conference. If I can find my mouse to move the slides. Where's it gone? There it is. Right, starting off with slide one. Here we go. So TC says it's a determined reaction this week. Our momentum has been jolted. Now it's about making sure we have a reaction this weekend. It is really important few days. On team news, he says we've got 4 returning this weekend. It's Hazard, Galloway, Talai, and Ibrahim, and some key ones at that, because I think no one's looking forward or would be looking forward to seeing, respectfully, Hammond back in goal. On Tuesday, Pleguezuelo is back, and then Sorinola will be back from suspension. To add to that, Bim Peppel has been training all week. So great. It's going to be really crucial to get these players back. On the next one, we have on Joe Rules, and this is the sad news out of all of that. The injury Joe suffered was on the borderline of surgery. Because it was on the borderline, we needed a second opinion, and we've come to the conclusion that Joe will go for surgery. He's probably played his last game of the season. That is such a massive shame. But Gavin's got some good sort of thoughts on that. Well, if you can call it that, but in terms of an angle to look at it, that's positive, I should say. Later on. On Blackpool, TC says they've improved since Ian Everett has gone in. They've added some ball playing quality in the window. It will be a very tough test. Any game in this league is. It's one we have to approach with the same mentality as Stockport and Lincoln. And with the return of key players, we have the ability to sustain those performances deep into games. On the Green Army, when asked, TC also said they drive us on and we appreciate everything they give to us. It impresses me every time seeing the numbers. We do feel their support and backing. And the player being interviewed today was Caleb Watts. Let's just bring his quotes up. So he says, I'm enjoying my time back in the team. I think I'm starting to play some decent stuff, and making the last 90 minutes is where I need to do better. I'm enjoying the opportunity to play. He says, I'm trying to be intelligent with my body. I used to be pedal to metal all week, and at the weekend, I wouldn't have everything I needed. I'm being smarter now to make sure the weekend is where I peak. I think that's probably an element of where the competition creeping in has probably had him doing that. So it's an interesting observation. On Blackpool, Kayla Watts said, a team that want to play football, some good technicians, but a team we can be effective against. There will be opportunities for me to score goals, transition in the box. I think I can make an impact trying to create opportunities for my teammates even. And he was asked about Bim Peppel. I think he's a brilliant player. He's full of confidence. You never get the sense that he doubts himself. He takes the ball well. He's a real physical presence. I can gamble off him. When he gets the ball, you know you can probably gamble and get into the box. Right, let me switch back. So, Gavin, yeah, the sort of news on rules. I mean, we got 4 players coming back, and then, obviously Pleguezuelo and that the following week, which is really great because it feels like forever that Pleggy's been out.
Yep.
But Joe rules, yeah, that is a shame and a gutting. But yeah, what angle have you looked at that? Obviously, with the situation with him,
as I'm a positive kind of guy, as everyone knows, glass half full. I was speaking to James Grealish on the way down to a meeting call earlier, and I said this: "Oh, that's a pain because he's a very good player. However, if he played the remainder of the season and stood out, there'd be lots of people knocking on his door for his autograph come next season." Because he'll now be with us, recuperating because he's contracted till he'll get a salary to the end of June. There's plenty of time for us to look at him, get him back fit, and then if we do offer him a new contract, which I think we should, because I think he'll be one of the best midfielders in the league next year anyway. He won't cost us as much because his stock will have dropped because he's had basically 6 full games and a couple of subs appearances. We'll know he's fit, no one else. So we won't get suitors, but also his salary that will be dictated will be probably less, probably maybe 10-15% than we would have done if he'd played all his games and we had to fight off other clubs for his signature. So I had a conversation with my brother actually this evening about this, and he was like, well, we don't need to sign any more injury-prone players or re-sign, and I agree with that because we've had a stinker this year. However, if I was going to make one what's the right word I'm looking for? I don't know, it was a very busy day. One change to that philosophy, it would be Joe Rolls, because I think if he the 46 games or whatever it is next year, if you kept him fit for 25-30, then he would be having us there or thereabouts top 6 with a good squad around him. So I would pick him. I wouldn't overplay him, and I'll have him next year. So I think, although it's a bummer, but who knows? He could have come back without surgery, lasted 1 game and gone again. So now I think this is the best possible scenario we can hope for, that he rehabs with us. He seems to be happy down here. He's told the press he's happy down here. And we get him for next year now with no one else snooping around because of he'll go under the radar. So that's my theory. Ready?
Yeah, I think, Andy, it's, look, we would love to. He showed a lot of potential. He obviously turned our form around and helped go on to that win, didn't he? To that run of games, and it was gutting to see him go. And you could see where we were slipping up in those second halves in the recent games. So it is a shame. But we got the likes of Kane, who showed real promise for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or whatever he got on Saturday. Hopefully he can step in and fill those shoes. For the missing rules. But yeah, look, maybe it gives us a bit more, assuming actually as well, he does want to carry on playing at the end of the season.
Yeah, I mean, Kane seems like for like, doesn't he? Much as I like Rawls, I think Kane brings that a little bit of flair, doesn't he? We saw in 5 minutes a little bit of trickery going on with him, and he looks really good. So he could quite easily step into Rawls' shoes. Shame about Rawls because he held the midfield together, and Boateng shone when he was in the team. Since he's been at the team, he's still sort of played okay, but he's not been as effective as we know that here in Boateng, Malachi Boateng can be. So, yeah, if he's got creative players around him, then Boateng still thrive there, and I think Kane's got that ability to do that. So it's all good.
Yeah, no, it's look, it's unfortunate, but out of the returning players, I think Hazard, Gavin, obviously after giving sort of support for Ashby Hammond for a few games and seeing him come in, and obviously that disaster at home to Lincoln, we've all seen the clip from the side of the goal, and I mean, I sort of threw the debate up that, above all else, yes, maybe Hazard should have definitely done better, but it was a absolute superb corner that just, like, when someone recorded it from the Mayflower side, and when you see it from that angle, you're just like, wow, just sit there and watch that and just take that in. It was a fabulous corner that resulted in that goal that gave him that 2-goal lead and sealed the game, really. So yeah, good to see him back then, Gavin, I suppose.
Yeah. The stats don't lie. I think he conceded 1 in 5, and then he got injured, and we've conceded 8 in 4. You could argue they're better teams. You could argue that, we've had tired legs. You could argue a number of things, but the simple fact of the matter is stats don't lie, and Hazard statistically is a far better likelihood of keeping a clean sheet, which means you at least get a point, than we are with Hammond in goal. I just wish they could sort of saw off Hammond's legs and stick them on Hazard, because I think between the two of them you'd have a decent keeper. I have to say that Doncaster's keeper, I did watch this whilst in my hotel room in Cardiff, Doncaster's keeper to keep out 4 consecutive penalties, but before that, keep Doncaster in the game against Huddersfield in their Virtue game. He's 22, 23 from Hull on loan. He is immense. If we can go and sign him in the summer window, we've got a very, very good keeper. I can't remember his name, but he blew me away before even penalties, and then they missed 4 penalties on the bounce. I will tell you all, he saved 3 and 1 at the crossbar. So there's work to do in the summer, but for now, Hazard's our best bet. I think if he can come to some kind of anywhere near the form he played under Miran Muslic, we'll be fine for the rest of the season. Touch wood, as long as he stays fit.
Yep, and apologies to those with their ears for the tap on the mic. Yeah, Andy, look, Hammond's had his chance. Sadly, it didn't work out, seemingly, and Hazard's back. So, and there's a number of key players back as well, isn't there? So, it is all about, and I said it on Saturday, having that strong, confident, defensive line in front of you as well. If he comes back in and we shore up, I don't care as long as we shore up, really.
Yeah, I think we forget that we had the spine of our team sort of ripped out again, didn't we? We've had defensive frailty with Galloway out, and we've had Hazard out, and we've had Rolls now out, and then Talai out. So we've had to replace them with players who maybe not as good. I'll say it that way. I'll be kind. But yeah, with Hazard back in goal now, I think Hammond did have his chance, didn't he? And I think he failed it miserably, sadly, because he's got a good peg on him. He can kick the ball, but when it comes to shot stopping, he needs to do better, really. There's a couple of things he could have done on Saturday that could have prevented goals there. 1, come off his line for the first goal, and 2, maybe got his fist to the third goal. But
I don't think as a keeper, you can't let 2 goals be conceded, 1 direct from a corner and 1 a header from 2.5 yards, 3 yards from your middle of your 6-yard box, and say you've had a good game. I don't care what anyone says. You either come for that corner that he misses, that they get the point blank header in. If he bumps into any of their players and hits the deck, he's going to get a free kick, because that's just the way the game's gone. If he comes and punches it, they don't get the header. But to sit rooted to his spot and not go for the ball, unforgivable for me.
I get a fact as well, though, Gav, that you've got 4 players in front of you who are supposed to be doing their job as defenders, but you've got to have some sort of communication from a goalkeeper to defence.
Yeah, he's got to come. He's got to come. It's mine, and he's got to get a fist on it. Even if he fists it and it scrums up over the bar, it doesn't end up in the back of the net. It's as simple as that.
Yeah. No, agree. Evening. All says GT, come on the greens there. Green Gruffalo, including Roberts and Teagan, we could give 8 players sitting in the stand, not travelling come Tuesday. Heather saying, just need a clean sheet. Hazard does that. Luca lets 1 in each game. It doesn't help, as I said, when also the people in front of you don't do their job. But Truth Plim, Hazard out of contract in the summer, isn't he? Yep, that's the other thing with that. He obviously didn't get a move in the window. That was sort of touted might happen. So he is out of contract, and I think he probably won't accept a new one. I'd be amazed if he does, and probably just equally needs to move on. So please, Hazard is ready. Says ads need on number 1 in goal again. To be honest, gives more hope. Sign Kane and Rules for next season, says Coco. Ruby and me, also known as Andy, says Rules might get a better offer elsewhere. If we are not quick to sign him, he could end up in a coaching role later on. I think that's Gavin's point, though, with him crocking himself now, and he's obviously not a spring chicken, and he decided to sort of retire from football at the end of his tenure at Cardiff. It's almost like, well, is someone going to take that risk? At least we know what we're dealing with when he's back and fit. David Mortimer, evening to you, Dave. He says, new Keith account, number 5, has jinxed our form. I wouldn't know because I don't really look on there anymore. Andrew T is also in as well. Pepple's number 1 fan. He says, Hopefully he will be loyal next season. I'm trying to see what that's in relation to. Just a Janez in as well. He says, I'm going Blackpool, 5:30 start on the Argyle coach. Oh, wow. That's a tough one. Luke Hodge also saying, Hazard, Galloway and Talai to come straight back in. Feels wrong playing Dale over the likes of Watts, Ibrahim and Kane, but I guess there's no other choice in a 4-4-2. So, I mean, Talai coming back then. I mean, Galloway, actually, before that, Gavin, were we expecting him back for this game?
Well, so in hospitality last on the Lincoln game, he was interviewed, and Gaz asked him whether he was going to be, when he was going to be back, and he said, "Well, basically, it's 1 to 2 weeks." Well, it's been 1 week, so it sounds like from the press conference today, he's got a small abdominal issue, which will be corrected. It looks like a small hernia or something. So corrected in the summer with a small operation, which will be no problem. But he can play with comfort for the rest of the season. So I don't think there's a EFL player at the minute who's playing without a knock, to be honest. So he's been vital for us. We were saying when we were sort of putting the deck together, I think he's behind Talai and Hazard. He's probably the third name on the team sheet at the minute. Because he's just been so consistent down that left, even though you've got Mackenzie chomping at the bit, who's not quite match fit yet. I still think he's been outstanding. So you can't leave him out for me at the moment. He offers a bit of a long throw. He offers to go forward, but it's just his defensive work. You never ever, hardly ever see peppered crosses coming in. He blocks so many crosses, and the bit I think I like the most, from seeing where I sit in the Mayflower upper, is a winger will get the ball and he just jockeys them right back to the halfway line, and the whole team push up with, and then they have to go another way. So he sort of ushers the defence and those attacking threats out just by sort of jockeying and not giving anyone any time on the ball. So for me, he's got to start at the minute. And
he chips in with goals as well, Gav, doesn't he?
He does, yeah. He's got what, three and 5 or something.
Yeah.
So for me, Mackenzie might end up being the better version, but if we've got two players at the same rate as Galloway at the minute, then we can alternate them with no problem, and they're not going to get any issue with burnout or being overworked. And you've got a perfect scenario there, haven't you?
Yeah. No, and I think the Andy Talai coming back is another massive positive. I'll read some of these comments out in a minute, but Gavin, if you could, I don't know how many you can see, but a few people have picked that player suggestion possibly in there.
Yeah, it is. It's low to Arla. Yes,
right.
That's the Doncaster. He was outstanding he's on loan from Hull. If we could have him in the summer, we'd be laughing. But I don't know whether Hull would sell him yet because he's only 22. But there we go.
No, that sounds good. But yeah, Talai coming back, Andy, is, Pepple's obviously swelling above his eye is what caused him to actually come off the pitch. We showed that picture on Saturday night. It was pretty bad. But yeah, that wasn't going to affect his training once that swelling comes down. And I think with Talai being back, it's going to be good to see those two work off each other because we've seen how effective that's been.
Yeah, definitely. And it'll free up Caleb Watts as well to provide. Yeah, I think that's more Watts' strength to provide for the front men. So, I mean, Pepple and Talai together, I mean, they're a good combination. Before he got injured, both of them were sort of firing, start to understand each other's game and knew where each other were. So, yeah, I'm excited to have Talai back. I'm hoping that he'll start his goal scoring again. So the second part of the season now is going to be another few goals for us, him and Bim.
Yeah. I think the exciting thing as well for Talai, Gavin, is the players that are coming back as well. So like he went off obviously just after Rolls in the Luton game and him in the other one, and following that, and it was almost like he losing a few key players. Galloway then also went out, but with him coming back in, with sort of Pepple being okay to play, assuming he gets picked. Galloway coming back, sort of Kane, the new player. He must have seen that and watched him. Obviously, he was there on Saturday, of course. And it's like he's just going to be absolutely chomping at the bit to try and get back on that score.
But he's also knocked off the top perch now of leading goal scorers in the league, so he ain't going to like that.
No.
I'm really excited to see Bim in the form he's in alongside Talai.
Yeah.
Whether he starts or whether he's on the bench is a different conversation. Whether he's got 30, 35 minutes in him or whether he's got 90, who knows? Only he'll know that and the coach will know that. But to have him back with the form and the confidence that Peppel's in, and then if you think about it, you've got a really master technical tactician in Herbie Kane, who can slide balls through and pick a pass. Fantastic. You've got Curtis's cross, which has been industrious. You'll have Caleb Watts to come on. You'll have Bradley Ibrahim to come on if they don't start. So you've got lots and lots of attacking support in that end of the field. If we play a high press and maintain that intensity for 90 minutes, not 45, with the players that can come on from the bench and basically tell players to use a rugbyism to empty the tank for 60 minutes and then come hook yourself off. It's a really exciting proposition with a back four and a goalkeeper that don't concede much. So yeah, I'm confident. You know, you got all these players back. Roles aside, which is a travesty, but it is. TC must be scratching his head and having sleepless nights a minute for the right reasons of which guys am I going to leave out.
Yeah. And I think the whole competition thing as well, you know, that's what I sort of picked up on. It's the first time I've been able to digest the comments from the press of the day because, it's been flat out. But what's saying that, because we looked at it, we were saying he was tiring towards the end. He just looked like he was lost, and maybe he was trying to do too much in training to win his spot back. And actually, you know, he just needs to go back to doing what he did before.
If you think about it, and it was the same on the Miron, if you look at the amount of work rate that the front three do, they're the linchpin. They start all the defensive efforts. So at the moment, it's front two with someone in the or the two wide attackers, two wide midfielders sort of bridging up and pincering. The amount of work rate that front two do to maintain and pen people in, phenomenal. Actually, if you look at the mileage between sort of the centre halves and the front two, the centre halves will do probably half the work the front two do because they're not going to have that up and down. If you look at the way we defend, I can't remember which game it was. I was with my brother and I counted the touches that Mitchell had. And I think it was 7 minutes in, and Mitchell had about 8 touches and not a single one with his foot. Every single touch he had was in the middle of his forehead.
Yeah.
Which it just shows, you don't have to sprint to make a header. You're there, you win it, you jockey back again. So if you look at the different work rates of the front two, the wide attackers or the wide midfielders, if you like, on that 4-4-2, they've probably got the highest work rates of the game. And then when we're in possession, the two fullbacks have as well because they need to invert or go on and do an overlap. So if you've got those positions and you've got quality, so Mackenzie for Galloway, Sorinola for Edwards or Wes Harding for Edwards, and then you've got quality on the wide depths and up front with Ibrahim and Watts, and you're in a good position. You're not going to lose any intensity or any quality for the 90 minutes, and that's when you start beating good sides because as much as they think, oh, well, we've got through 60 minutes, on come the cavalry, and all of a sudden it's up to gain the intensity against tiring legs. So, Hardy showed that a lot when he was playing with us, that if you brought him on in 60 minutes, the balls down the channels, the centre halves are blowing out the backsides. And him with fresh legs always outbeat the centre half. So we're in a decent position now. We've got a squad together, and I think this is the real time you can probably say for the first time this season we can actually grade TC's work properly because he's got a full deck of cards, bar one, to play with.
And I think that's we're going to come to the squad presentation deck in a second, literally. But I think that's the thing that gives me a bit more confidence is we've had a bit of a stutter, sadly, after a really strong run. Obviously, losing a few key players, some during Talai, Rawls, and Peppel all during the game, and obviously Watts because of that discipline first half, and that's unbalanced us and unsettled us. Whereas with who's coming back in, I'm excited to see Ibrahim get back, and if he comes on as a sub, how he's going to try and pit his marker on to stake his claim. But it's hopefully, touch wood, we don't get many more or any more, but that starts to just springboard us back a little bit. I think if we weren't seeing some of these players for another game or two, it's edgy then because you're getting sucked back into that relegation zone that you don't want to be anywhere
Also,
near.
Mike, if you just think about, I think we've got 5 weeks on the bounce. We've got Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday.
Right, yeah.
So you're going to have pretty much 2 sides. I think you're going to have those players that are expending loads of energy. I've just said they're going to play 60 one week, 30 the next. So they'll start, then they'll be on the bench. So it'll be 60, 30, 30, 60. So the formation will stay the same, but the personnel will chop in and out to keep everyone fresh. We haven't had that luxury to date.
No.
Yeah.
We've been running people into
guys. Right, we've played 10 games now. We've only lost 3 games. Yeah, so that's 2 little blips, right, in 10 games.
Yeah.
So that doesn't tend too bad.
Well, I wouldn't say they were blips. We got battered against Lincoln in the second half. We were awful.
Yeah,
but we were awful because we ran out of steam. We had Pepple came off. We were a different side immediately.
Yeah.
So we went through that Saturday night. So yeah, it's for me. I'm excited to see now TC with a full deck. Who's squeaking there?
I was just going to say, who's coming in and out of a door?
Mike's not opening his wallet, is he?
Who is it? Heather?
It's Mike opening his wallet.
Ah, okay. So tell him it'll be
hello, Heather's on the
swear, I didn't swear.
How you doing?
Right, I'm going to push us off. We obviously Heather's just joined in the lobby, so bring her in. Why not? Let me just get this slide up, and then I'm going to come. Oh, come on, man! There we go. I'll come to some comments quickly before we run through what the squad looks like. Baz in the Cloud says, agree with Tolly in the second. Wouldn't want to push him too quick and risk a longer spell out. Accidental Pilgrim, evening to you, says the 2 games we recently lost, Stockport and Lincoln, were bonus games. Anyway, as both are bonus games as both are challenging for the league. Most other sides will lose to them. Andrew T saying, with nearly a fully fit squad, there are no excuses for playing people out of positions. Yeah, absolutely. Ads also saying, use Pepple and Watts and then bring Tolly on second half to push things on maybe. But the problem is first goal could be a killer for either team in this game. Luke Hodge says, I'd be surprised if Talai was on the bench, as that sounds like he's still not fit to me. He's only been out for 2 weeks, so if he's fit, he starts. Agree. Andy also saying Pim is great for being able to hold the ball up for Tolly and Watts to get into attacking positions, keep us up and the other end of the pitch and away from our goal. Pilgrim Pete is back in tonight as well. Good to see you in, matey. Hope you're well. Cleverly would want Rules, Kane, Mitchell plus Talai to stay next season, says Coco. With our injuries back plus 2 decent keepers, we would have a decent chance of the playoffs at least next season. Do I dare say that it still ain't over yet this season? I will, and I can. What else we got? Green Gruffalo, TC mentioned Tolly can give us a big lift second half as an option, so possibly on the bench. Yeah, and Hull would sell him. Whether we could afford him is another matter. That's in relation to, I think, that keeper Timothy Latutala. Right.
Monch toot.
That's it. Something like that, me lover. So, right, we got a few slides. On those that are regulars will know that we love a little slide deck. These ones aren't so visually appealing because we were throwing it together. Well, I say throwing it together. We were wanting to get it together so we could at least talk it through. And we like to do that so you can also see. For those that are listening post, then obviously you just have to be able to listen because you won't see. But thank you for doing so anyway. And don't forget, if you're on that Spotify or Apple podcast, give us a like and a comment or a review, however you do it on there. That would be much appreciated. Right, Gavin, I'll hand over to you. Okay. So goalkeepers, fire away.
So we talked, I think it was Saturday, wasn't it, after the game, and it was like, what should we do for the next live lounge? And the window had just shut. And I think we were both talking to ourselves around what does the squad look like now? Who have we got? Who's left? Who's injured? Who's not? And I was like, well, let's try and throw something together for Thursday because there'll be a lot of people that, I forgot about him, or is he coming back? So this next 15 minutes or so is a synopsis of the squad, who we've got.
15 minutes?
Yeah, 15 minutes. 15 minutes of the slides, then we can talk for an hour if you want. I'll put my feet up. So just going to go through the squad in player detail per department, so goalkeeper, defence, midfield, attack. Interestingly, then I ran this afternoon through a well-known AI platform. I won't name it.
ChatGPT, I love AI.
and just asked it to give us the best 4-4-2 formation based on stats for the season on FOTMob, and it's done that, which is interesting. And then to finally pick off, we've done a bit of a what we think our best 11 and subs are for the rest of the season, and then who's left out, which is, again, I think some of the comments here are quite interesting around who doesn't get a peg on a Saturday. So, without further ado, goalkeepers obviously haven't changed. So we've got Conor Hazard, who's now back with us, thank you Jesus, who's got a FOTMob rate of 7, just over 7 for the season, which is pretty decent, with 7 clean sheets. Hammond's got 1 clean sheet to date, and a FOTMob rate of 6.74, and Zach Baker's not stepped over the whitewash in anger. So that's our goalkeeping contingent. You can go next slide, please, to do a Boris.
Yeah, 2 seconds.
He's playing with his phone again.
Where's my mouse gone? I'm trying to multitask. I'm failing miserably, folks. Right, there we go. Fire away.
Right, so defence over 2 slides. So Such, FOTMob rating of 7.04. He's actually our highest rated defender in FOTMob, which is interesting. I think if you'd asked the fans that on a poll, he probably wouldn't have finished near the top. But statistically, he is. I thought when he came on last week, he looked really sharp, actually.
Yeah, I think he's just on him, Gav. I think he's probably taken, I said it on Saturday, a bit more criticism than really I think is due. He generally is fairly robust when he comes on, and he's very good at getting the ball forward as well.
Agreed.
So there's that door of Heathers again.
It's Mike's wallet. I keep telling you, he's opening his wallet.
Heather needs a WD-40. You can go to your local range store and pick that up tomorrow.
It's the one door in the house that squeaks.
Well, you need a gift, Michael. Get her some WD-40 tomorrow and give it to her on Wednesday next week. So Mitchell 6.82. We know how consistent he's been. He's been like a lump of granite in the middle of the midfield, middle of the back four, which has been class. Pleggy, we haven't played for a long time. His rating 6.77. Matthias Ross 6.87. Again, I think he's coming to his own over the last month to 6 weeks, and he's pretty much ripped the shirt off of Pleggy for the foreseeable, in my opinion. I think he'll keep the shirt for as long as possible. He's adapted to the league now. He's got a bit more physical. He puts his head where it hurts a lot more. He's reading the game a lot better. And I just think, like everything in it, that centre-back pairing, the more they play with each other, the more intuitive they become, the better they get themselves out of trouble. And I think him and Mitchell at the moment are having a great run of form. So probably not moving them down. Next slide.
Yep, hang on then. I was just replying to Stephen Cooper. There we go.
So rest of defence, Joe Edwards, fullback, FOTMob 6.8. Wes Harding, FOTMob 7.1 after 1 game. I thought he got a bit of a bad press last week for 1 bad pass. You could call it potentially 2, but he's got speed, he's got agility, he can pass a ball. He wants the ball and got inverted. I think he'll be a very good Joe Edwards foil for this year. If we're going Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday, I think start Wes 1 week, start Joe the next. It'll be a fantastic duo. Brendan Galloway, who again I think has been our probably most consistent defender of the year, doesn't get the plaudits he deserves, and chipped in with some good goals. Jack McKenzie, who will be the understudy on the other side of the defence for him. We haven't seen his peak performance yet for any stretch. I think he's only had 35 minutes, and he needs to get some more form and get some more minutes. And then Matti Saranello we've put into the defence, although he could be in midfield because he's played everywhere. So that's a defence.
Let me move. Oh, come on, wake up.
Defence.
Me, not the mouse, that is. There we go.
So midfield. This is I suppose it's just beginning to show our depth a little bit, which we haven't had. So we've got Brendan Wiradu, who has done really well since I think he's been moved back to his natural position, along with Malaki Boateng, who's started every game for the club this year, which is the only one there. Watts has come back with real abundance and some good form. Kane's new, but I think he'll do really well. Hazard and Robertson and Ibrahim make up the trio. Ibrahim back, I think playing him higher up the pitch as an 8 would be a really good thing. And Joe Rolls injured at the bottom. Next one.
Just before we jump, because I just spotted it, Gav. There's no FOTMob ratings on the players, on some of the players in here. So Brendan Wiradu clearly didn't pick that up. I'm trying to do it live now and going and find out.
Go back and then we can just give them the ratings. But I mean, for the purpose of this, it's just like, what's the squad? Who we got left?
So we're on this slide now, yeah?
So attackers, So this is interesting because I think I would say two pick themselves, which is Peppel and Talai, but back up then you've got Aseni, Amici, Patterson and Curtis, which make up the remaining players. You could argue put Curtis as a midfielder, but he's playing wide. I will say, and I don't know what anyone else thinks listening, but this 4-4-2's worked for us really, really well, but I don't think it gets the best out of our attacking players. If we played 4-2-3-1, or even 3-5-2, although you won't go back to a back three, I think we can get a lot more of these good players into the game from the start. If not, we're going to have some very good players on the bench and some very good players sitting in the stands who aren't even got a peg. So, but we're very effective as a two up top, and they play close together. And if you watched Aaron Cusac's analysis of the team, you'll see that actually having two up top gets us out of trouble a lot, gets us forward quickly, and is a menace up top. So that's kind of the squad in a nutshell, which is the boring part, but at least we know who we are now. Our last two attackers. Owen Dale, who I've completely forgotten about, even though he's in my team Saturday, and Tegan Finn, who is the lost enigma, who I think will get some time later in the season if we're comfortable mid-table and there's nothing to play for, but at the moment isn't. And I think when he does come back, he'll have the bit between his teeth and he'll be showing some people what he's made of, having just signed a 3-year deal. There we are. So that is the team or the squad in its entirety. This is the interesting part. So I asked ChatGPT what the best team is to take us into the close of the season. And statistically, it's this, for those who are listening. For those who aren't listening, they can read, I hope. So Connor Hazard in goal, which we have no real complaints about. Left back, Brendan Galloway. Mitchell and Ross in the middle and Joe Edwards at right back. You'd expect that. They've got the most clean sheets as a 4. Then the midfield gets interesting. So it's got Xavier Michi on the right midfield, Boateng and Watts in the centre of midfield, and Jamie Patterson on the left of midfield. Statistically, they're the best 4 midfielders, apparently. And then up top is what you'd expect. It's got Talai and Bim Peppel. And then the bench, statistically, the best team is Hammond, because Zach Baker's
the only real option.
not put a foot over the whitewash, so he's got no rating. The defenders are Pleguezuelo and Matti Saranola. Again, this is thrown up from ChatGPT, nothing to do with me. The midfielders were Brad Lieberham and Brendan Wiradu, and the attackers were Ronan Curtis and Owen Aseni.
Yeah, I like Andrew T's comment there. That team equals stats off of mugs.
100%.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's
a bit of fun, but actually, sometimes it's very easy to go statistically. That's the best team. Let's throw it out. But old-fashioned football goes the nose of this. The sniff test is that team would not ever make a Saturday. The back four would, and the front two would, but the midfield would never be put out in a game unless we were really in the shit.
No, there's if he's still watching, there's Jamie P who entered the chat and said hello just earlier as someone that's working with me on a project that I'm doing, and we were talking about AI because of the project that I'm doing is built something with AI, but he says, I'm not so keen on AI at times. You just got to watch for stuff, and this is a good example of where it's interesting what it will spit out, but it's basically looking at FOTMob and looking at ratings and going, there you go. Because, Amici for me wouldn't be in it. Patterson hasn't seen enough games to be in it. Caleb Watts, you could say, yes. Wiradu's not even showing there. Curtis Nelson has obviously only been with us for a short time. So where it's possibly looking purely at us, he's not overly registering. You wouldn't completely argue with that back four at all, and also with those top two. So overall, it's really that midfield in there. Before we come to our Block 9 season running 11, just read out some of the comments. So Stephen Cooper says, if we lost rules of the season, can we bring another free agent? No. Well, yes, we could, but I don't think we need to really with Kane and that. We really are the old proverbial Jekyll and Hyde team, says Ruby and me, Andy. 1 minute we are world beaters, and the next it's like they've never played together. It's been very frustrating watching Argyle this season.
That's like what first half to second half for the last 3 weeks.
Yeah. There is that. Accidental Pilgrim said Curtis has to start for me, no brainer. I totally agree. Green Gruffalo, TC was completely wrong blaming Luca Ashby Hammond for the pass. The back four decided to go rogue. Hammond was just following on-field instructions. Well, it was 2 misplaced passes, right foot, wrong foot, however you want to look at it, that led to the first goal and that second. What we got? 0-0 in the Brentford-Arsenal game, as Peter Henwood is keeping a close eye on that one.
Nice.
Also, they're the better team in London, Tottenham, isn't it, I think? Sorry, Peter. Have just obviously sacked their manager as well this week. And so is Forest today. It's just, what on earth is that? What a mess.
At least they'll have 4 managers in a season. That's got to be some kind of Premier League record, isn't it?
Guys, just absolutely barbaric. So, moving then to the next slide. So, this is the Block 9's Team 11 running to the end of the season. So, take it away, Gavin.
So we've gone, and it was a collective effort, not my team, as much as I'd love it to be. So we've gone Hazard in goal, as you'd expect for those listening. A back 4 from right to left of Edwards, Mitchell, Ross, and Galloway, which you'd expect. A midfield, this is where it gets a bit interesting. We've gone on the right-hand side, Matty Saranola to play in front of Joe Edwards. Herbie Kane and Maliki Boateng, not Hiram. Maliki Boateng in the middle of midfield, and then Ronan Curtis on the left, and then Peppel and Tulai up top. So that's the 11.
Yeah.
What is interesting for those who are listening and not watching is the subs for our imaginary match day 11 for the game for the rest of the season is Hammond in goal or goal replacement, 2 defender replacements in Wes Harding and Julio Pleguezelo, 2 midfielder replacements in Brendan Wiradu and Bradley Ibrahim, and 2 attacking options in Caleb Watts and Owen Aseni. And I've just realised in my rush, Xavier Amici is not even on my not selected column, so there's another one to add to the list. So that's our 11. And then if you look at who's not selected, who basically sits in the stand in a tracksuit and drinks lattes, Xavier Amici, Owen Dale, Tegan Finn, Caleb Roberts, Freddie Osaka, Cornell Such, Jack McKenzie, Eamon Benarous, brackets unregistered, Jamie Patterson, and then long-term injured, Joe Rolls, Jack Matthews. So it's a very, very robust and deep squad now with everybody fit. And I'm sure there's a lot of change there, probably in the 11 and probably on the bench, I would imagine. That was ours. It'll be interesting to see what people think and who they would replace, because no one's ever going to agree with me or us on this, I'm sure. They don't agree with my 11 as it get at the best of times for a Saturday, let alone...
Well, more do than Carl's, but we'll see what the thoughts are.
But be fair, I've got half a brain, so that puts the end of it.
Carl is working tonight, so
that's why I said it.
that's why he's not on, and he might not play back any of that, so don't snitch on him. But no, Andy, obviously we ran through that with you as well before the lobby. I think the big questionable one, as Gav alluded to, is the Soranola side, and I think obviously those 2 suspensions are painful. This is not the lineup for Saturday, Peter. This is what we would suspect our strongest running would be, but we've got the lineups from Gavin and Carl in a second. Soranola, and Edwards were playing very well together. Soranola gets suspended. Edwards doesn't have his best game either in that last one. So, Amici, though, for me, still hasn't done enough. I still would love to see Tegan on that side. But any changes and thoughts for you, Andy?
It's a difficult one because I quite like Harding. But I also like Galloway as well. So there's a real dilemma at the back already. I'd almost try Harding for the first sort of half an hour of that game, running in, and then Galloway coming on. I don't know, or vice versa. It's very difficult to choose.
Am I right in saying isn't Harding more right back than left?
Maybe.
Harding's right centre back or right back. That's
it. Yeah.
Right. So in that case, Galloway is right where he is. Exactly right where he is, with Curtis in front of him. Soranola, he's another one. He blows hot and cold, doesn't he? But he's a great player at running forward and marauding forward, isn't he? So not much change to that team, to be fair, Gav. It's really good for the running.
Again, I agree with the side. Wow, Steve Cooper, me and you are like peas in a pod. Tish. The thing for me that sticks out is not even who's on the bench. Who's not on the bench is the big real eye opener, because I forgot Xavier Amici on that list when I actually put it together 2 minutes before we went on. But if you look at Michi, Dale, Such, McKenzie, Patterson, there's 5 senior players who aren't even putting a shirt on a Saturday. That for me says where we are now as a squad, and the fact that we can rotate, we can do Tuesday, Saturday, Tuesday with some real conviction, knowing we've got some strength in depth, which is a godsend for us. I wouldn't fancy being TC in the selection committee, mind, because who you're leaving out. So
looking at it now, Gav, looking at it again, the only change I would probably make from that selection there is having Wiradou in front of Kane. And I say that because Wiradou's been there with Boateng for the last few games, isn't he? And Kane, is he not match? I'm not sure whether he's 100% match fit yet.
For me, you need to have the reason why I think we selected him as a team was, you need to have a ball playing like we have with Rolls. You need a ball playing and a ball winning centre midfield pair, because I think Wiradou and Boateng are too similar. So they're both ball winners, and they both can drive the ball at the pitch, but neither of them can pick a pass consistently. Whereas if you looked at what Rolls did, he swept up, but he pushed the ball forward, passing it quickly up the pitch. And if you've got Pepperl and Talai up top, I'll tell you what it does now. It shows me that we've got no excuses between now and the end of the season to not finish strong. Because if that's the squad that he's got at his disposal, TC and the coaching team, it's now about the skill is putting the right people in the right places at the right time to get a result.
And that's with bar injury as well, isn't it? You could sort of
And sorry, just looking at the slagging off of Wes Harding being picked on the bench and not McKenzie. I wasn't thinking about Harding being a left back replacement, but more of a general centre back replacement, because Pleggy can play. He's played left back, he's played left centre back, or he's played left of a back three. Harding can play right back or right centre back. So that's the way, in my mind, that worked. You could flick Pleggy out and put McKenzie on the bench. Again, we're having nice conversations, aren't we, about squad depth. And then McKenzie could play left centre back or left back. So, or if Ross got injured, Galloway moves across and McKenzie comes on at left back. So there is a very big discussion to be had, and for me, the bench now is probably the most contentious, and probably that'll be the longest conversation on selection meetings. Will be who sits on the bench. I would imagine.
No, I agree with what you said about the Boateng, Wiradou, and you can throw Ibrahim into that mix. You want to allow some of those players to potentially drive forward and create something, but you do need a stable head there, as you'll have them all trying to go off and do the same thing, and then you leave yourself wide open. Accidental Pilgrim just picking up on that really good point about the ball winners and the ball players in midfield. I think what is exciting as well is, you have got the likes of, Wiradou could come on if Boateng isn't having a great game. Ibrahim could come on if Boateng isn't having a great game. Yeah. He does seem to be the one player that, for whatever reason, doesn't get dropped. He's generally very consistent. But yeah, it is great to be able to talk about, what do we do here and what do we do there? And Wes Harding, I think for Edwards, Gavin and I, when we were going through this, it's almost like, his form's been a bit up and down, but do you drop your captain? But I think if he doesn't perform with Soranola, it won't be for Saturday, but, and even if he gets back in based on the squad now, but it's almost like you would then have a go with Wes Harding in that position if needed. Again, experience coming back into it. The
one thing that I sort of, I'd be much happier if Joe Rolls was fit. And I know if my auntie had Dangley, she'd be my uncle. But if Joe Rolls was fit, you'd feel far happier in putting Wes Harding in at right back and putting Edwards on the bench or dropping them all together. But you need that leadership. So the only real, on looking at that, you wouldn't include Hazard as captain material because he's in the sticks. The only other skipper I would put in all that of that mix there would be Brendan Galloway. He knows the club. He's been here a long time. He is a leader. He's got maturity, he's got age, and he's one of the first names on the team sheet. So without that experience on the pitch from
for me, it's a challenge on who skippers decide and who calms things down if it goes wrong.
Yeah, and I will because more animated than normal because Gavin has had to talk through a lot of slides there, but I can hear the multiple knockings of the microphone. So we might invest in a boom for him to keep his mic off the desk. Yeah, so there we go. Right, so what I'm going to do is we'd normally then go into the selections and that for Saturday, and obviously playing against Blackpool, and I'll read a few bits out from their situation. But as Heather's been so patiently sat,
I'm just
I
chilling.
mean, and yeah, anything, Heather, besides your squeaky door that you want to throw into that mix of what we've selected there?
To be honest, I'm still out of it with the men. It's like I know like the regular starters and stuff like that, but yeah, I ain't got the knowledge like Gavin's got with his little essays on everyone.
Thanks.
It's Chat GPT because I love AI.
Ask me about women. Yeah, I got the slides. I got the info. Men, still a learning
Well, I'll
curve.
tell you what then, Heather, let's just move straight into it. So
Oh gosh.
it was, come on, slide. There we go. Is it going to change?
You're under pressure now, Heather. Come on, you've got to
There we
perform
go.
now, girl.
So it was a little bit of a stumbling block, Heather, wasn't it, in the game at the weekend against Gwalia on those fantastic plastic pitches. It was being streamed for those that were watching it as well on Argyle TV. I've lost the comments again for some reason. But yeah, do you want to tell us a bit about that one on the weekend?
Yeah, it was obviously different. Obviously, we just signed a keeper as well just before, so it wasn't one of our regulars in goal. So we had Ella Stowell. She's a dual register from Bristol City. So it was her first game time with the team. But I think basically Gwalia's clearly been watching us and has figured out that we are a heavily attacking team, and they just parked the bus and kept us away from that goal as much as possible.
Yeah, well, it's one of those things where, and well, notwithstanding, Heather, there was a missed penalty, wasn't there, early on?
Yeah, I think that did cost us. Fair play to the keeper; they figured out which way Phoebe was going, and stopped it. But at the same time, we had plenty of chances. We had like hitting the crossbars. We had at one point an open goal, and just couldn't get it in the right angle. Like we kept going wide, over, around, and it was very frustrating. We're just like, it's almost like the Wimbledon game, a team that we should have dominated.
Yeah.
And we just almost not fell apart, but we just couldn't figure out where goal was basically and where the net was.
Do you think then, I've got Marie Hurahan's comments. I haven't got the videos. I've literally ran out of time. It's been that frantic. But yeah, do you think then that's going to give us some food for thought? You know, if we're going to come up against other teams that are going to park the bus, then did she try and tactically change it up? I'm sure she did. But it's going to give us something to think about if other teams do that.
It all depends because, to be honest, Gwalia was giving it out and the ref was a bit dicey.
A ref being dicey, really?
But we had so many fouls on Phoebe, so many fouls on Tiana, and they were going for our strongest players, unfortunately, that was going to slot the goals. So obviously we did a few substitute, like Una Lu came on, Tamara came off, and like Paris came on, like some heavy, strong players, which again kept us up in attacking, and we were pushing for it. We just couldn't find that goal. Sorry, I do apologise.
That's all right. Oh, the cat's making, or wants to get in on the action as well. Look, I mean, where does that leave the situation in the league now in terms of how the others did around us, Bournemouth and that? So
we were all watching the Oxford and Oxford game, Watford and Oxford on our phones as well for the like updates, and it was back and forth. So they'd be like 1-0 up, then 1-1, then like 2-1, then it was like 2-2, and we're like, oh come on, we just need Oxford to actually do what they do best in the last few seconds, like get that winning goal. And unfortunately they just didn't this time. So Watford did get the 3 points, which has obviously pulled them further away from us because we only picked up the 1 point. We are now chasing the top still, not so much comfortably playing the games now. We basically can't afford a draw at the minute. Like a draw is no longer good enough. Those 3 points every game we need them. Like especially Wednesday we need them. We need to try and beat Bournemouth. Like it's it's all or nothing. Otherwise, unfortunately, that bronze spot unfortunately will be ours.
Yeah, well, look, these things do happen. It's played really well. Let's just see or read out to you what Marie Huran had to say. She said, "This result is a massive reality check. Last weekend was fantastic and amazing, but you've got to be consistent. If you want to win the league and cup finals, you've got to be consistent and relentless, and that's something that we are not at the moment." So. Frustration, disappointment. All you can do is pick yourselves up. Obviously, the same with the men's team off the back of 2 defeats away and at home. It's picking yourself back up and sort of trying to deal with that and move on, whether you got players coming back or not. Look, it is what it is. But there is a chance to, on Wednesday, try and make up for it in style, isn't there? Where's my mouse gone again? It's moving too quickly. Maybe your cat's after it. I better be careful.
He's up to bed.
Yeah. So obviously, just give us then obviously this next game coming up on half-term week, Wednesday, the 18th of February. It is a 7:30 evening kickoff. More blocks open, Heather, so more chances to get your free tickets and come and watch the game.
Yeah, obviously speaking to a few of the kids, they've actually been taking the tickets into school. I think one of the girls, we obviously had the February cracker that was rescheduled from Christmas, was catching up with a few friends there. And they were saying like your school was originally given like 150 and they were gone within seconds. So the school had to ask for like another 500. So the demand is there. I don't know if it's the half term that's pushing it up. I don't know if it's the event beforehand that's pushing it up, or the fact that obviously it is free. I know fibre is still cheap for some people, but everyone is giving it all. Exeter have sold out their allocation technically of what they were given, but obviously they can rock up on the day and get in with it, like just getting the ticket at the gate. But yeah, it's the first time I've ever seen a women's game that actually has the Devonport Open. We've never had that. We've barely filled the Mayflower so far. To the point now we've sold all the Mayflower. We've opened block, I believe 10 is open at the minute.
Wow.
So we're all the way around there.
Sorry, block 9 as well.
Block 9 sold.
Yeah, I was going to say that's gone. I ain't even on the list.
Should have waited. Well, it's the one way of looking at it though, Heather, and sort of if you're at the club, and yes, it is half term. It's an evening game. It's free. But that, as a strategy point of view, it's a great way to get people in to see what the women's game is about. From a club's point of view, that could be beneficial, obviously, for future games. The revenue income it will bring for food and drinks, of course, is there to be had as well. And if it allows another few hundred to think, oh, I'm going to, well, you said it actually, when you first came on the show, your daughter went to her first game and now she's got full kit, her own goalie gloves. She's doing all her training, and I have no idea how, and the wife's going to kill me because I'm talking loud again and Sophie's sleeping right above me on that side. I'm interested to see how Sophie reacts to it as well when I take her. Carl's taking his daughter, Sophia, who does go to Argyle games anyway. So it'll be interesting to see how she reacts to that. So I'm quite excited for that. And do come over and say hello if you are there and you do see us. So I think from a club's point of view, it's, take advantage of it and let's try and get some more people interested in the women's game. Yeah,
to be honest, a lot of the buzz that we've got is, to be honest, I'm finding a lot of men. Season ticket holders, supporters, they're like, oh, do you know what? I might pop down. It's like I'm free on the Wednesdays. I'll pop down. So I think as well, not that we're like stealing the fans, but we're actually sharing the fans that the men might have not known about the women. Obviously, with their history and not doing so well, we're flying this year, and they're like, actually, do you know what? We might pop along and see what it's all about. It's a free ticket. We ain't gonna lose anything. And end up finding that they enjoy the women's game and find themselves out Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah. Do you know what, Heather? I'll hang my head in shame here and I'll say this is going to be my very first Argyle ladies game. So,
Yeah, likewise.
Yeah. It's
again, nothing. You wouldn't have known about it if you wasn't coming for the free games and that. And it's a good one to trial it at because it's the Devon Derby. I mean, what better game with the atmosphere is going to be there?
Yeah, it's very much a case. I mean, for me, it's ideal because it's on half-term week and I'm actually off. The wife's working the bulk of it, but when for me personally, when I'm sort of doing the shows, prepping, if I'm doing a watch along, that's even worse. And to try and go to a game on Sunday as well is like, yeah, I'll end up divorced. But if Sophie does really enjoy it, then that might well happen on Saturday. Gavin, obviously you enjoy going and taking your brother and your girls as well, and like I think you said that generally when it's in the Mayflower, they open the lounge, don't they? So you can kids,
So
if they're
open
younger,
Plymouth
get a bit
Argyle
restless
and you
with
can
cold.
run around there and mill. But it'll be quite interesting to see my girls, because they're 8 and 6, turn up to a game. So we're in hospitality down at the View, so down at the Thatcher's Bar, for a game like you are. So they'll love that, because sitting down before a football game and eating, they'll feel very posh. But actually being in the lower Mayflower, as they'll be, I don't think I'll be able to sneak up to my normal seats as I normally do. But with 3, 4, 5,000 in the ground, to see their reaction, because they're normally there when there's 1,000, 1,300 max. So there's a bit of atmosphere, you can hear it, but this will feel very different under lights. First time they've ever been to a late game, because they're normally in bed by the time 7:30 kicks off, but half time they can stay up. So I think it's a very different, actually. Very smart of the club to just offer out free tickets, because you'll get a better average spend for food and beverage on the day. There won't be the massive queues that there will be with a 16,500 people trying to get a pint and a portion of chips pre-game.
You can also drink at the seats in women's game.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can take a seat, a beer to the seat, which is, again, you can't do with football.
If you do, drink responsibly and behave yourselves.
Yeah, well, there is that. But I think it'll be I think someone mentioned it in the chat, actually. Can you imagine how the girls are going to feel walking out to 5,000-6,000 Janners going nuts, trying to get them to beat the filth?
Yeah, we were singing Janners at Gwalior as well.
Oh, cool. My nephew went to up to Gwalior.
Yeah, he's messaging me.
Oh, was he? Oh dear. Never mind. He had a chat with Paris Dalton, actually, on the train on the way home for about half an hour as well. So she was getting a train back to Derby. I think this is a great fillip for the ladies team. I think it's what they deserve. I think it's what Marie deserves, a bit of recognition. Hopefully there's a lot of season ticket holders on a Saturday that will see this, especially if we smash the filth 3-4-0, which is a possibility with our best team.
They do have quite a few injuries right now.
Who? Exeter?
Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
If we win and win convincingly, hopefully it'll convince another 300-400 of that 5,000 to say, I'll tell you what, I'm going to start going every week. My nephew's convinced, he's watching the home and away now. He's mental. He's done that with the men's team for a long time, and now he's getting on trains to Wales on a Saturday. He's off his nut. And then he's going to work in the evening to work a night shift. He is properly off his nut. But there we are. But I think it's really good recognition for the girls' team. I think it's exceptional recognition for what Marie's done this year, and I hope that to God that the occasion doesn't overrule them too much, and that we cheer them on to a convincing, happy win, and the club makes a few quid. That'd be fantastic.
Yeah, it's quite interesting as well. Obviously, like the extra lot. Obviously, like in the women's game, it's not allocated seating; it's a free for all. But despite that, they're actually wanting to sit together. Like, obviously, they've actually appreciated that. Obviously, we're not segregated, but they're like, you know what? Can we sit in an area for just extra, just to make our own little noise as well, which is quite nice.
No, absolutely. I'm just, I'm going to read out some of the comments. Graham Byrne, for your one earlier, which I won't read out. I thought you were better than that. So I'm not going to read it out. What else have we got? Club shop as well, with people being there, obviously I wonder if that will be open. It probably might do. 1,600 odd was the biggest attendance so far. Duke of Devon, who
that was the Bournemouth game.
Yeah, goes to a lot of the games as well. Singing our hearts out as well. I did hear them. I did see them type out earlier. Stephen Cooper saying, I really think, guys, we are going to Wembley. I feel so confident. That's I'm guessing, does he mean in the women's game or the men's game?
Virtue Trophy.
Yeah, Virtue Trophy. Accidental Pilgrim saying maybe you could do a Block 9 vlog covering a women's game. Would make a good watch and raise interest. So that
Statistical, even that'd be brilliant.
there is that where Heather can we want to do more. I did allude to a comment I put in earlier from as Carl just drops in from Stephen Cooper, that if we get enough and if you want to join Heather to discuss the women's game from start to finish on your own show on the Block 9, then that could happen. We're all for opening that up.
Now.
That's it. Yeah, a day in a week, where you can get your Block 9 women's football fix. So, hope you're working hard, Carl, tonight. I won't say what Gavin said about you earlier, but
I defended you, Carl. I defended you, Carl, mate. Don't worry.
Classic.
I do like Zoe's mentioned. Obviously, like we know Zoe through the club as well, and she said that she's been going for 3 seasons.
Yeah, saw that.
And obviously, like when they first started, there was hardly anyone there.
Awful.
And now, even we went last year, and there was probably about 200-300 people there, and now you're up to a minimum 600-700. That's fantastic.
Yeah, well, and well done for the club for persevering and driving it. On that hope that it does carry on to grow. You can go off some people, says Carl.
Carl, mate. You know that.
Yeah, that's why Carl's not on. He's gone off.
I was just talking about Carl's ability to pick a side on a Saturday and how popular he is. That's all I was saying.
Zoe actually said, when we started following the girls 3 seasons ago, there was hardly any fans, as Heather was just saying. So it's great how many people then come out. What else have we got? Zoe also said, same, we travel home and away games. Ethan Prosser, evening to you. Yes, it was a great watch. It's been for my first 2 women's games. Debbie Firth saying, going to pop along Wednesday night to support the ladies. I'm guessing and I'm hoping you'll be wearing your Block 9 hoodie then, Debbie. So come and say hello. That'd be weird, spotting someone that we haven't met yet with their hoodie on. What else have we got here? Laura Camille. Say again?
I've noticed Steve's comments about ref. He said, do you have men refs at ladies football in the men have ladies running the line?
Both.
But it's probably most of them I've actually seen is women.
They're better as well, in my opinion.
Yeah, to be honest, the women refs, they've been quite equal. They've actually managed the game. I find almost with the men, they're not as good. That sounds really bad of me.
I love that comment. I'll put it up on the screen, let alone it's in the chat where you can see it from Accidental Pilgrim. Of course, we've noted it a few times. Yeah, no, it's really Heather's room that she's secretly staying with her daughters. Can I just say, Heather's bedroom puts you lads to shame.
Everywhere, seriously, there's pictures all up on her wall, everything.
Oh, so she's proper addicted, isn't she now?
One game she went to, one game.
Yeah, so if you are going, prepare to flex your credit cards in the shop because you might end up decorating your kid's bedroom just like that. And I'm sure there's plenty of room on that wall, I think, for a Block 9 wall sticker stencil. Well,
she got a giant poster because we had the Christmas cracker that was rescheduled. So she had that yesterday and she came home with a massive poster that's signed. So I got to try and find some way for this to go on the wall now. From the entire team.
I know where you can go and get a frame for it. Just saying.
Jesus, you can tell he's after that promotion at work, can't you?
I picked this up today as well. Does anybody know what one of those are?
Capybara.
They're on promotion, and the wife said, "Can you get one for Sophie before they sell out?" And they have literally nearly sold out. So crazy. I just don't get all these plush, cuddly things. And
are you sure that's not going on your bed?
100% ain't. Because I've got a Block 9 one coming.
Just thinking aloud, is it? I don't know if you're around Saturday night, but is it worth doing a proper preview of the Wednesday night game versus the Scum on Saturday?
I can do. Depends on time. I am driving. I've actually got the weekend off, and we're actually doing pageant training all day. So I'm in Andover for that. So I'll be driving back after training.
8:30 we start. So 9 o'clock. 9:50.
Well, don't forget, just in case your chap is listening in, Heather, it is Valentine's on Saturday. It's Valentine's on Saturday, and what could you want more than anything than to sit there with your loved one and watch us talk about the game on Saturday. Because, yes, we will be here on Saturday evening, because who wants to go out and pay for a meal that's going to cost you 3 times what it would do on a normal night out? Why don't you grab a takeaway or cook your loved one a nice meal and set out the table and whack the Block 9 podcast on your big screen TV? What more could you want?
If they need mental health if they do that, that's what I'm going to say. Or they probably need some relationship counselling if that's what they're doing on Saturday night.
Well, we'll soon see from the numbers. So
Carl's absolutely right. Me and Carl are going out for a romantic Big Mac on Saturday. I hope you know.
Right, nice.
So what? You're not on the show then?
No,
they're going to do it from the drive-through.
Classic.
Oh dear.
Classic. So yes, we will be back.
Might be worth doing a proper preview, because we haven't done a proper preview for a ladies' game yet, have we? We normally just do.
Yeah, I'll be up there. I'll have the mini me with me, so she wants to get in on it, because obviously we were at Gwalia, but we also had a photo shoot whilst we were up there for my pageant stuff.
Well, I'll tell you what
she was like still with her iPad, and all I could see was her going, "So today, guys, we're seeing Gwalia and Plymouth Argyle," and I'm like, "Okay, you watch me do too many TikToks. It's like, calm down your tits."
What we need, is a Block 9 pageant. And I know Heather will want it hands down, but at least if we show,
I've got my crown out there. So
if we show,
excuse me a minute, I think I'll be close contention for that prize. So Carl just said, "See where the night takes us, Andy."
This is it, mate. Yeah.
Anyway, that's a different Block 9 show.
Booked the travel lodge, and he's a classy bastard. He's booked the travel lodge for you.
He has, mate. I know.
And proper single beds.
Push it together.
Oh dear. What we could do, because it is half term, is if Saturday doesn't work perfectly, Heather, we could always do Monday night potentially. I'm taking a punt here on who might be free, or Tuesday night. Let's see what we can do. Although I just remembered
I think the Devon Derby deserves a little bit, even if it's just a 30-minute Monday night preview. I just think, with Heather there, with her knowledge and everything else, and 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 turning up, it deserves its own preview. Is my only thought. That's all.
Yeah, because I could do like a lot more in depth of obviously about like the run up beforehand, just like obviously the event beforehand, like timings, all that kind of plan. Because I know like on our supporters, like we get lots of questions. So
it sounds good. Let's see what we can do. As Baz and the Clouder said, I've got to the stage of marriage where it is a Tesco Valentine's meal deal. It is just nuts, isn't it? Just how everything is that much more expensive. But of course, when you can, support the retail hospitality side, because it is a challenging market sector out there at the moment, that's for sure. Right, so I think Heather, thank you for that. Any final bits and pieces to share that you haven't shared yet?
Not really. Obviously, it's just watching what's going, obviously the build up for it. Obviously, like I said, we're selling out more blocks, like we're all the way around to 10 at the minute.
That's impressive.
Yeah, it's just obviously the only injuries we really got in the squad is obviously H at the minute with their knee, but the squad is looking strong. It's growing, it's getting that's all we need basically. It's just a strong team, take advantage of Exeter's injuries and just smash it.
Exactly.
We get a good scoreline as well.
We ended 1-1 when we went up to Exeter.
Right.
So obviously we want to do better than that.
Tiana scored a late equaliser, didn't she?
She did, bless her. Yeah.
Is that right that Amber Pollock plays for them now? Because Amber used to play for Argyle Ladies.
Yeah, she plays Exeter.
Plays for Exeter, doesn't she?
Plays in the 10. Yeah.
Andrew T's comment, booked it but not paid. He said he's done a cinema and something, so maybe he's banking on the fact that he might get let down, keeping his money tight to his chest. Laura Camille says, how rules is out, does that open the door for Belarus? If not, thank you, Laura, because that one came up quite a bit in the chat. I did see Andy also gave a thought on it. Obviously with us letting him go and rules getting injured, I think there was a really strong point that comes out, a strong inkling, I think, that they knew that he alluded to it in the comments. It was borderline. Even if they didn't go for surgery, he was probably still going to be a few weeks out. I mean, you are just then replacing one Croc player with another, effectively, because he hasn't sustained much matches without getting injured again. So, no, I don't think so. Move on from the Eamon Benarous, and just go with what we've got. If there is a free agent, like he was, like Rules was, and it's worth taking on, then we'll probably do that. Right. Also, Duke of Devon saying, when's Caitlin back, Heather? That was a question just dropped in there.
Yeah, she should hopefully be back for the Exeter game. Her shoulder's healing quite nicely, so she says she's feeling up and fit, and she was out on the pitch with the girls and the kids yesterday.
Yeah.
So
I saw her today at the outside your office, Michael.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she was over by the Starbucks meeting. I think Lulu.
You sure she wasn't getting one of these?
She may have been. I don't know.
yeah, they're housemates. They're like besties. They have been for years.
Right, I didn't know that, but I just saw them both today. Waved. Yeah. They were like, "Who's this stupid idiot?" Anyway, here we are.
It's a fan. Hello.
Yeah,
I was fangirling a little bit. I was always Caitlin Smith. I was on my own as well, so it's pretty sad. But there we are. That's what it is. I'll do that more than the boys.
Right. So let's move on to lineups for Saturday. Well, actually, no, we'll do that, and then I'll read out where they sit in the league. I'll get it ready in a second.
That's
so this
Carl,
is Carl's lineup. Yeah, this is Carl's lineup.
I've still got just bypass that one.
Yeah. So Carl is gone. There's Andy. There's Andy looking after him 1 minute and then dismissing him the next.
Yeah, as soon as he's gone back to work, he's digging in the ribs.
Could be real.
You've gone from a Big Mac meal to a Happy Meal now.
Where did you get the pictures from? Because Caleb Watt looks like he's got an afro on.
No, Caleb Watts looks like he's about to get thrown in jail with that photo.
I tell you what, it's a good job ICE isn't in the UK. Half this lot will be up behind bars. If Voodoo's listening.
Can someone note the time so I can clip that out? Anyway, so he's got Hazard in goal and the back four of left to right, Galloway, Mitchell, Ross and Edwards. He's gone with Wiradoo just sat in front in a 4-1-3, and in front of Wiradoo he's normally stuck Wiradoo just in front of the defence, but he's gone with Curtison on the right, Boateng in the middle and Watts on the left, and of course Peppel and Talai up front. Any thoughts on that, Andy?
Looks quite good to me. Yeah, I'd have that exactly as it is. Carl, that's Carl's team, isn't it? Yeah, you caught me there. I'd have Wiradoo. I really would have Wiradoo in there because I think if you put Kane in place of him at the minute, I'd rather have Wiradoo and Boateng together. I know they're similar, Gav. Yeah, rightly so. But Wiradoo just he's been doing all right for the last couple of games, hasn't he? He's Dan put in there. He's been singing his name for goodness' sake. So yeah. Oh
no, the turnaround. I mean, Gavin likes to stake his claim with the Cleverly thing because we always banter about that. But yeah, it definitely is playing a player in the right position. But I've never had a big issue with Wiradoo. Yeah, he made the odd mistake. Obviously, gave away that penalty in at that time, but. Overall, I generally always felt that there was a good player there, and even when he was having to support that defensive role. So, it's good. It's good to see him back. Right, this isn't Gavin's.
Can I just have my say on Carl's?
Yeah, go on. While I upload your right one, do that.
Okay. So, I just think I like Carl's thinking. Actually, I'm going to give him a bit of compliment. I know someone who was it who said it. I think he's been drinking again. Andrew. Fair. It is, but my honest opinion is, I see where Carl's thinking is coming from because in order to get more of our attacking players in the squad, you can't play 4-4-2. So having that 3 behind 2 in the striker, having a front 5 is great, but I just think we go a run in midfield, if I'll be honest. So there we are. But it's a conundrum that is for people that have got far bigger brains than all of us to make this formation. But my formation, for what it's worth, for Saturday is the following: Hazard in goal, back 4 of Edwards, Mitchell, Ross, and Galloway. Standard, I think that picks itself at the moment. Here's where it gets a bit interesting. Is that me? Oh, it is me. No, It's not me. Is it?
That's your lineup.
Yeah, Owen Dale on the right.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I did. Sorry, I did. And here's the reason why. I'm just realising what I said. So, midfield four of Dale, Wiredu, Boateng, and Curtis. Caveated that if Herbie was fit and could play 90 minutes, he would start in front of Wiredu, but he's not. So I think moving forward as of Tuesday, hopefully he gets 45 minutes. I would start him against Leyton Orient. But for this particular game, I don't think he'll get a look in because I don't think he'll start a game because he's not fit enough yet. Gavin hasn't been drinking. Thanks. I wish I had. And then a top two of Pepple and Talai, which obviously leaves a very, very strong bench, whichever way you cut it, because there's lots of players out there. Ibrahim, Watts, Harding, McKenzie, Michi, Plague's not back fit yet. But there's a very very, very, very strong contingent for a 7-man bench. But that's what I've started with. Just one caveat that if Herbie Kane was fit to start the match, he would play instead of Brendan Wiredu. But that is my team for Saturday.
Yeah, no, fine. I think for me, wasn't there some sort of comment about Kane from Cleverly, either not necessarily in the presser, but maybe earlier in the week, where I just sort of sense that he's going to start him, and want to be on that front foot, have a bit of that experience and quick, adaptive play that I think he'll bring. Hopefully, people pass it to him this time, Gav.
I tell you what, I've not had so much engagement on Twitter X, on Twitter. Let's call it its proper name. Than the Jamie Tarp, give me the ball. I want the ball. Give me the ball. That's a funny move from Ted Lasso saying this is Herbie Kane for the last 15 minutes because the poor sod was running around like an headless chicken in gaps and everyone was just going, I'm not passing to you, mate. But when he got the ball, he moved it forward quickly. And if you watch Aaron Cusack's analysis of him for that 15 minutes, it's spot on, actually. So...
good shout. Go and check Aaron out on his Argyle analysis points. What we got in the comments then? So, sorry for all the jiggering and pokery with these comments. Restreams decided to implement a new feature, and it threw everything out from the start. So every slide then has been started with no comments. But what we got? Stephen Cooper saying we only got one player who has played every game, which is Malachi Boateng. Andrew T saying Kane is what TC was, popping it around busy. In terms of his time at United. Andrew T, with a comment of Gav hasn't been drinking tonight. Guys, at the moment, who's player of the season? Can't say at the quick fire, Gavin. Any thoughts on so far?
Mitchell.
Yeah. I think I would have lent towards that. Andy?
Good shout. Yeah, I was going to say exactly that, Mitchell.
Yeah, Heather?
Alex Mitchell as well. Like, my daughter loves him because as a defender, she has the little phrase saying, if in doubt, kick it out, because every time he gets the ball, he just whacks it out of danger.
Yeah, he has.
He's been the most consistent, even with that bereavement and his family. He's been the most consistent player this season for us.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah. Boateng, I would say, he's consistent. But whether or not there is a thing or something in the background that makes Cleverly constantly pick him, or just the fact that he is consistent. What have we got here? Let me scroll back up on my window. Rambo's nose, love that for a tag. Evelyn to you says we're doing Boateng, good for breaking up play, but not for creating play. Debbie Fairforce is saying another great watch, guys. We'll look out for the watch along. See you all Saturday. Thank you for that, Debbie, and maybe we'll bump into you on Wednesday too. Injunction in the post for Gavin, that was a reference to his ice comment. Baz in the Cloud says must dash. Thanks everyone, great chat, great content yet again. Looking forward to watching the game on Saturday. Come on, you Greens. Michael Hawke saying great podcast. Again, sorry for the comment about the Luku comment. Michael, the Reading fan, and they also did lose as well at the weekend, didn't they? I think for me then, I do think Harding will start in that lineup on Saturday. Let's wait and see. I'm looking forward to tiring week, and it is tiring even doing these watch longs and 2 shows on a Saturday. But I'm looking forward to that getting my weekend and my half-term holiday time off up to a good start. So let me just move back up here. Obviously, we have one final thing to say. We have drawn, well, assuming we beat Luton, but obviously we now know who will play in the next round before we even get to play a game in the current round against Luton. But it is Northampton Town. That game is likely to be played if we get through in the first weekend or something in March. So that was drawn today. Andy, it's a chance to try and go forward and get to Wembley, isn't it, I suppose?
It is. We've got to overcome Luton, of course we have, but we've beaten them twice this season. We need to get Mozza on for his lucky charm, Mike.
Yeah.
Northampton, of the three clubs that left, it was at Stockport and Doncaster, and of course Luton and ourselves. That's the best probably opportunity we've got at home park to get through to Wembley for the third time.
Yeah. No, Gavin, thoughts on that Luton game and progressing through to the next round as well?
From what I've read, Luton are not that bothered about it. They don't want anything to do with it. I think they've got some injury concerns as well. I think they'll put out a weakened side, a bit like Huddersfield did, and they might rue that. I think we'll go as strong as we possibly can. Although looking at the strength and depth of the squad now, I think we'll have a strong side come what may. If we do that, I was crossing my fingers for Northampton home or away, and we got it, so that's handy. So I think if we can do that, beating a reasonably weak Northampton side should get us to Wembley, and I can go back again and spend a fortune on Diamond Hospitality at Wembley and lose 4-0 again to Stockport. That'll be fun. So that was a lovely weekend. And I had a meeting Monday morning in London, hanging out on my backside. Not so great, but there we are. But yeah, I think it's the best of draws we possibly have. If there's no incentive now to beat Luton away, then what is? And I will be going to that one as well, Mike. Just to let you know.
Okay, nice. Okay. Well, Voodoo is not in tonight. Because you've seen as you ditched him last time.
I did ditch him last time. Yeah.
He'll be. Let's see. I did forget to read out Blackpool. Oh, do you know what? I haven't looked at the table since that defeat on Saturday. But yeah, forget they are literally a few. Well, I say a few points.
4 points behind, aren't they?
Sorry,
they're just below us, but 4.
Yeah, 4 points. Yeah, they're 17th or 16th. Their recent run of form is a draw, a defeat, a win, and a defeat. So, not too dissimilar to Argyle's recently. But, and they are on a -7 goal difference. So, actually, not too dissimilar to us, conceding goals for 37 goals against 44. So, they are on the same number of games. You've got Barnsley above us, who have 3 games in. That's mad. 3 games in hand on 27. And then you have Wimbledon, Exeter, Mansfield, all, and also Stevenage all on 29. So it's so important more than ever that we do get something, because you are going to get dragged. It's 5 points, 6 points between bottom and 21st place in the relegation zone and where we are. So look, final thoughts then, so we can all get to bed and see the weekend out. But Gavin, starting with you, go top down. Any final thoughts to say before we sign off?
Looking forward to Saturday. Are we doing predictions or not?
Yeah, go on. Thank you.
Oh, that's right. I'm going to go 2-0 Argyle. I think Obafemi will miss a couple of absolute sitters like he did for us.
Oh, God,
he's playing left wing, isn't he? He's playing left of a top 3. So, I think 2-0 scorers. Peppel and Talai, why not?
Yeah. Go on then. Heather, go on, give us a prediction.
Well, I did actually do some research. So I know last time it was 1-0 and Boateng scored that. But if we are the better, stronger team, I'm probably going to go... If it's Hazard in goal, then I'll go 2-0 because he likes his clean sheets. I'm still waiting for my Curtis goal. I still want that.
Yeah.
I play to you.
And to be honest, Bim is doing it. I know Tolly's the top, is the main scorer, but if he's still not 100%, I think Bim's that person to clean up.
Yeah. No, wouldn't disagree with that. Did you give your actual scoreline? Sorry.
Yeah, 2-0.
2-0.
2-0, yeah. Sorry.
With
Yes.
Hazard in goal. Though.
Curtis
I
and
was distracted. That's my bad, folks. Sorry. Andy, what are you going with?
Right, so I'm going to go 2-1 to Argyle. I think, with Niall and Obafemi in there, they'll want to score against us, won't they? Guaranteed. So I think they're going to win 2-1, and I reckon that it's going to be Peppel and Curtis to get his first goal for us.
Copycat.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
fair enough.
I said 2-1.
I went 2-0, I think, in the chat. I'm trying to remember. I think I went to Lie, and I think I went Peppel as well.
I will take
that's
Terry Alfred's score, though.
Well, I'm going to read the. So there's a few people that have dropped their scores in, so I'm going to read them out. Won't read Callum Coyle's out unless he's a Blackpool fan, but he says I think unless he's agreeing. Sorry, 3-0 Blackpool. Could misread that, interpret that. VW Coco 1-0 Argyle. He's going for Ross. Brian 3-0 to Argyle. Wow. Talai, Watts, and Curtis. Graham Byrne is going 1-0 to the Greens. Terry Alford's going 5-1 Argyle. Adds 5-1. I think someone else has been on the drink tonight. Ads Taylor is going 2-1. Rambo's Nose 3-2 to Argyle. Duke of Devon 3-1 to Argyle. So some big scores in there, which makes me nervous because sometimes when we predict that, it all goes Pete Tong. Nicholas G dropping in there. Evening, good to see you. He's gone 2-1 Argyle. And Laura Camille's gone if Kane in 3-1. So so some good scores coming through. Right. Other than saying if you're watching us from wherever you're watching us, if you haven't liked, followed, or subscribed, please do so. We did notice, or have noticed, an issue with X now. Normally, when we go live, I sort of see our live appear in our profile, and I just retweet it from there. And then I add the hashtag in PAFC, of course. Tonight it didn't do that, and I had to go round in circles to find the live. And when I eventually was able to retweet it, then lots of you on there were able to see the show. I will fix that next time because X have clearly changed some stuff. But other than that, enjoy the rest of the week. If you are all off, if some of you are off next week for half term as well, enjoy that time with the family. But yes, I'll be back on Saturday to do that watch along. Maybe with Carl, we shall see. Looking forward to it. Let's see what happens. And like I said, don't forget anywhere else for Valentine's. You just need to be here to watch our post-match show. So on that note, it's a goodbye from me, Gavin, Heather, and Andy.
Good night.